Hello everyone and welcome back to the UConn Huskies Dynasty. In the last episode, we did drop our first game on the season versus the Arkansas Razorbacks in what was a close contest full of mistakes by the two quarterbacks. Welliver, of course, throwing an interception at the very end of the game, and Tobin with two, which ultimately got him benched for Welliver. Some of you might be wondering, does that mean there is a starting quarterback change? No, it's still going to be Dorian Tobin. I think that putting Welliver in that game kind of just reaffirmed to me that we need the scrambling ability of Tobin to be able to run the offense the way we want to run it this season. The only change to the depth chart we are making, however, is at right tackle. The senior Torian Johnson is being benched for the redshirt freshman Manny Smith. Johnson has incredible strength, 95 strength, and he's got really good pass block power and run block power, but look at this pass block finesse stat. It's 57. He was letting the edge rusher for Arkansas through on nearly every play. When he is against speed rushers, he is useless. He is more of an interior lineman than I think he is a tackle, and I think he could be a good interior lineman. And in fact, you might recall he actually played center for us most of last season. So if that's a change we want to make, I actually think that that suits him pretty well. He is more of a power blocking type. I think guard or center makes a lot more sense for him. Obviously, Morosky has left guard lockdown. Center is a bit of a weak point though, and Torian Johnson is an 83 overall center. Something to keep in mind, that's for sure. He may take over the center position going forward, just kind of shuffling around this offensive line to get Tobin or Welliver, whoever's in, the most protection possible. And I mentioned Alan Swan just disappearing from the team last episode. He was not on our injury report, but he is injured. You can see the little injury icon next to his player picture, but for whatever reason, he was not showing up in our injury report a week ago, but now he has appeared. He has a broken collarbone and will miss 5 more weeks. No other changes to speak of, though I am considering letting Adonis Keough have a start on the defensive line probably a few times this season. He can, of course, as a redshirt freshman, play up to 4 times in the season, and I just want to see if he would be able to get us a bit more pass rush. He does have good power moves. He does not have very good finesse moves, and he has really good block shedding. 86 is actually some of the best block shedding on the team. My main concern with Logan Stern bars is that he only has 69 block shedding. I don't feel like he's getting through too much, despite the fact that he has good power moves and good finesse moves. He is smart with the fairly high awareness and the really high play recognition, but does it not look like Moses Newcomb, who is 10 overall points lower, would almost be a better edge rusher than him with the 86 block shedding and the power moves that isn't that far away? But let me know what you think. He does bring good speed to the table at 81, whereas Newcomb only 61 might allow more people around the edge, but just things I am considering. And a quick look at recruiting, not a ton to mention, but a couple of things. McCargo, of course, is going to be visiting in week 5 when we face off against Cincinnati. Darren Michelle is doing the same thing. He will also be visiting during Cincinnati. And I've changed most of these players, if possible, to a hard sell rather than send the house. Our hard sells typically, as of late, are very, very good and tend to give us more bonuses than sending the house. I don't think Pelshak will commit this week, but he's basically already in the door. It feels like. I'm really excited about this. We'll see if he does commit this week. It may be next week. Either way, it's looking like he's almost a done deal. And you'll see a couple guys like Bosby and Nestrowitz that have a little bit lower points now. I wanted to start spreading around the points a little bit more to some of these guys lower down my board, which is why you see Russo with 10, Radovich with 10, Kite with 10, and Claypool with 5. Corner, big need for us. I figure it's time to start focusing on that a little bit more, and I have a couple 4-star guys that I like. And then, of course, I've talked about getting a better right tackle, so we're going after Kite and Claypool. We're already kind of in the mix just with the scholarship, so I figured I didn't need to send a ton of points just yet, and we can still focus on these top guys, and once we get guys like McCargo, Michelle, and Pelshak, and more points are freed up, we can go harder after some of these other 4-star guys. But so far, the recruiting board is going really, really well. I'm sure Syracuse will come in and ruin it somewhere. But for now, it is time to face off against the reigning national champions in the UAB Blazers. They made a Cinderella run out of the American last season, winning the national title and then joining the Big 12. So they are a newcomer to the power conferences this year, but clearly they have the capabilities of a Power 4 team. We've got UConn in the all whites today, a look I don't think we rock enough. I actually think it looks really nice. 1st and 10 from the 26 to start the day. It'll go Darrell Robinson's way, and he'll get a pickup of 6. In the last episode, we saw that Neil Powell, a freshman quarterback, was a transfer risk due to us not averaging enough yards per game through the air. So that might be a point of emphasis today as that swatted down in the direction of Dalton Schmizniak. And I didn't see it, but man, I had Marcus Angler for a touchdown, I think. 3rd and 4 for the Huskies. Tobin back to pass, and that's just a free first down to Jackson Harper. Why do anything else? Harper makes a man miss and gets to the 49. Harper, of course, a relatively big part of the offense last season, kind of relegated this season with the freshmen that have come in. As my controller, once per episode, I swear, starts to die. I'll hand this off to Darrell Robinson, cuts it back, goes up the middle and gets 5. Shaq McBath checks into the game. Big blitz on its way, and we'll just get this to Shamar Porter. He'll find his way downfield, can't get the block from Dalton, and it's a 1st and 10 to the 21 for the Huskies. I'm sure you guys have noticed we're very much a first half team. We seem to get all of our points in the first half and then almost shut down offensively in the second half. Last week only scoring 3 points against the Razorbacks in the second half, while also keeping them scoreless, however, as we'll get this to Marcus Angler, and that'll set up a 3rd and inches. From the 11, Robinson will get the carry on 3rd and inches, has a lane up the middle. Shout out Shamar Porter for that block, by the way. Let's take a look at that. Wide receivers never get enough love for their abilities in the blocking game. Just took that linebacker out of the play completely. And that leaves us a 1st and goal from the 2, as we're going to go high ball for Porter. It's knocked away. 2nd and goal. Number 10 hands off number 11. Robinson, he can't get in. He did fall forward. 3rd and goal from the 1. It's really more like the half-yard line, as we'll give it to Robinson one more time, and he cuts it back to find the end zone. Touchdown UConn. As somehow my controller plugged in even, dying still. But Darrell Robinson finds the end zone, and the Huskies will take an early lead over UAB. And this UAB team did win the national title a year ago, but they're not as good as they once were. Definitely have regressed a small amount with all of the seniors exiting. The biggest thing about UAB is that they lost their senior quarterback and are now rolling with Adrian Posse, a 77 overall junior quarterback, and that's their biggest hole right now. They don't have a great quarterback, and that might hold them back. He does have one of the biggest arms in all of football, 99 throw power, and the accuracies aren't too bad. He's really not a terrible player, but definitely not the best. And at running back as well, a little weaker. They've got Shaheem Sally, who is a redshirt junior, only 85 speed, a power back type. The guy I'm more concerned about actually is Andre Devine, who has 92 speed with 98 acceleration. But then the big strength of this offense is the wide receiver room. Their top 3 wide receivers are Corey Milliner at an 89, Cam Shanks at an 86, and Iverson Hooks at an 84, and you might see some of Quan Shepard as well. Really, really good receiver core. And their tight end is JC Sivley. They probably should have looked for maybe a better quarterback in the transfer portal, because that might be the only thing that holds them back this season, as this is a little end around pitch play, but Johnny McNulty is the guy who reads it. Part of the reason he gets the start over other guys who are maybe a little more talented is because he has such high play recognition. He's a very, very smart player, and that's why he gets to start. As Posse will fake the handoff and look to throw. Running out of time. He wants it all. One-on-one coverage with Jamie Santos. It's knocked away. The sophomore corner winning that battle against Milliner. But Posse can make any throw he wants to, as that is the halfback to Sally in the backfield this time. Corin Daly pushes him into Johnny McNulty, and McNulty gets the sack. And UAB will go 3 and out on their first possession. They had to punt out of their own end zone, so we start with excellent field position for Dorian Tobin and the UConn offense. 1st and 10 from the 42, as Robinson finds a lane, makes a man miss, but then tackled from behind at the 25. 1st down and 10. Tobin back to pass, stepping up and down he goes. A sack for a loss of 4. That one was on me. I was a little too quick to look to scramble there. 2nd and 14 from the 29 as Tobin back to pass again. Lobs one up. He wants Max Cadet. It's overthrown. He had him, but misses the throw. We've seen that a few times this season now with Dorian Tobin. Has some overthrows deeper down the field. And this time could throw to Shamar Porter. I was hoping he'd get the block and we'd have a free line to the touchdown. Instead, he goes down at the 22 and we'll have to settle for a Zach Costanzo field goal attempt. The play here was definitely just to give it to Porter, scrambling to the right. We also have, I think that's Overhauser over the middle, but it would have been a crossbody throw, a little bit more difficult. Although Tobin does have the off-balance ability. What I was hoping is that Porter would hit this block here when he turned up field, and that it would just kind of be a free touchdown at that point for Tobin, which is why I didn't take the throw to Porter. Obviously, hindsight is 20/20. A somewhat long field goal for Costanzo, no problem. He's automatic so far this season in his junior year. So a great start from the UConn defense. Let's see if they keep it up. We've been able to get some quarterback pressures today. 1st and 10 from the 17. It's Sally in the backfield, and he will be the one who ultimately ends up with it, hurdling a defender and running into Robert Butts. Johnny McNulty helping from behind, but it's a first down for the Blazers. They advance to their own 30. Posse out of the shotgun. A bit of an awkward stance, though. Hands off Sally again. Can he find this lane? No. Raheem Lovelace makes the tackle. Still 4 yards, though. They're going to a hurry-up type of offense this possession. And it's another handoff Sally in a huge lane. I mean, you could have fit a truck through that. And it's a 1st and 10 to the 44. The pass game is what they tried on their first drive. It didn't work great. The running game, which has kind of been our weakness this season, is working well for them so far this drive. And it's going to be another run up the middle. And it's Butts saving a touchdown. And one of the UAB receivers, Cam Shanks, will exit with an injury. 2nd and 2 from the UConn 48. It's another handoff. This time it's not Sally. It's Andre Devine. He's got the good speed. Robert Butts can't save the touchdown. And on the ground through the entire drive, the UAB Blazers bounce back. Touchdown UAB. Andre Devine, the HB2, the one with a lot better speed, finds a huge lane and finds 6. Now the run defense for UConn not playing very well today. It's now 10-7 as Darrell Robinson gets the carry, cuts this back up the middle and finds a first to the 33, already to 55 yards on the day. 1st and 10 from the 33 as Tobin takes the wide receiver screen to Jackson Harper, and he'll go down after a pickup of 9. On 2nd and 1, it's a designed QB run for Dorian Tobin. Finds a lane, can't quite break away though to the 46. This is what you love about Dorian Tobin as he's back to pass. And he wants it all. Looking for his man, Shamar Porter. It is a step overthrown again. Should have been a touchdown, and Tobin just missed him. And that was the end of the first quarter as well. Definitely want that one back. Tobin on this one will hand off to Darrell Robinson, who ends up with 7 to set up a 3rd and manageable. From the 40, it's 3rd and 3. And Tobin going to step up here and actually take off and then slide down right around the 25. They'll mark him at the 26. Seems like those deep balls from Tobin just aren't quite there just yet. Would love it if those could work from time to time, as we'll set up the wide receiver screen for Terry Overhauser. Can't break away. 2nd and 10 from the 26. As we'll step up with Tobin in the pocket again. Down he goes, losing 3. 3rd and 13 from the 28 as Tobin's back to pass. He has Marcus Angler, but he overthrows it again and it's intercepted. Tobin cannot stop overthrowing his targets, slows down the returner, who's eventually tackled by Darrell Robinson. That is the 2nd week in a row where Tobin has overthrown a man into an interception. What do we do? 10-7 still the score, but an interception for the UConn Huskies. Under pressure is Posse, but he finds his target. It's Corey Milliner on the reception. He's up to the 31. 8 minutes left to go in the first half. Posse will fake the handoff and look to throw. Under pressure from Johnny McNulty, who's chasing him down and does bring him down, but it's a pickup of 3 yards, not a sack. It's Devine that's in the backfield. He'll get the carry here, makes a nifty little move on Johnny McNulty, and gets to the 16, 1st and 10. Now they're in the red zone. 7.5 left to play in the first half. has a tight end out wide to the right, but brings him in, and then it's a handoff. Divine. Terrell brings him down for a loss of 2. Second down and 12 from the 18. Still Divine in the backfield as they're hurrying it up, and Divine trying to find the edge, but Johnny McNulty makes the play, a loss of 3 yards. Third and 15 from the 21. Bend but don't break defense is what we're looking for, but they broke. Touchdown UAB. That was George Kiki lined up on that side. That's Barnard on the reception, and it's a touchdown for the Blazers. They'll take the lead off of the Tobin interception. Barnhart, rather, with the touchdown grab. 14-10 for the Blazers, and Tobin is cold. So we'll start this drive with a handoff to Darrell Robinson, who is consistently getting 5 to 6 a carry. Robinson currently averaging 6.7 per carry to be precise. They bring him in motion, and it's that jet touch pass, cuts it back to the middle and sets up a 3rd and 1. Max Cadet checks into the game for a 3rd down and 1. And it will be a handoff to the freshman halfback, and he gets the first. From the 34 on 1st down, we'll look to throw with Tobin, maybe get him some of that confidence back as he finds an easy one to Shamar Porter, and he's just short of that first. 2nd down and inches from the 44. Blitz on its way from UAB. Porter is wide open down the field again, and it's missed from Dorian Tobin. It's another touchdown. Porter should have 2 of them. It was 2nd and inches, so I decided to try another one of those plays, and man, I've never seen Shamar Porter more open. Tobin continuing to miss these throws down the field. I was very confident that Robinson would be able to get the first, and he does. And if Porter's going to find himself open down the field this often, I mean, that does make me want to play Cole Welliver, who has a much better deep ball. Robinson loses 2. 2nd and 12 from the 47 as Tobin will look to pass. And he's got Shamar Porter wide open again underneath, and he gets a first. That's his 3rd catch on the day. 2nd and 10 after another incompletion from the 33. Blitz on its way once again. He wants Porter. Got bumped a little bit by the defender. I don't know that that one is necessarily as much Tobin's fault, but it does fall incomplete either way. 3rd and 10. Tobin to pass. Scrambling, running out wide to the right. There is a lot of green over here, and he's going to find the 1st down up to the 18. Good job there by Dorian Tobin. Now we find ourselves inside the 2-minute warning as we'll look to throw for Darrell Robinson, who makes the grab. Back shoulder, high-pointed. Darrell Robinson hits the gritty as he gets a receiving touchdown from Dorian Tobin. Robinson not used a ton in the receiving game, has become mostly a true running back, but this time he finds 6 off of the throw from Dorian Tobin. I've been trying more and more to just give my players a high ball in the end zone. Let them go up and make a play, specifically with Shamar Porter, which is actually who I wanted that to go to, but I pressed the wrong button, and Darrell Robinson made the play anyway. 1:56, and all of your timeouts. I mean, that is plenty for the Blazers as this gets completed for 5 and heads out of bounds. 2nd and 5 from the 30. They're back to pass again. Just taking the check down to the tight end, and that's the first. And that does temporarily stop the clock, but it's rolling again. 1:40 left to play in the half. As this one also goes over the middle, and it's going to be short of the first. They use their first timeout. Field goal, of course, would tie it up. And I believe UAB starts with the football in the 2nd half, so any points is a positive for them, but it's Robert Butts with the interception. A chance at a pick 6, but no. Chased down by Corey Milliner, but it's a 1st and 10 for the Huskies now off of the safety's interception, and we'll get an opportunity to extend our lead before we head to halftime. That is huge from Robert Butts. 1st and 10, UConn, a golden opportunity here. So we'll try to set up a halfback screen for Darrell Robinson. And he'll cut this back, trying to follow Ben Morosky's block, but Morosky just way too slow. So now in 1st and 10 from the 32. No blitz on its way. Porter beat his man downfield again, and this time Tobin hits him as finally Porter, who has been cooking the slot corner all day, gets wide open down the field for what I think is the 3rd time, and Tobin hits him. It's about time, Dorian. If that one had missed, I don't know what we would have done, because Porter is scorching this man. The only issue is that that score may have happened a little bit too fast. It's 24-14, but 1:12 and still 2 timeouts for UAB. Again, shout out the safety, Robert Butts, for the interception, putting us in that position to begin with. Posse, under some pressure from Corin Daly, finds his man. It's a pickup of 3. That's Iverson Hooks on the reception. He did go out of bounds. That stops the clock. 2nd and 7 from the 28. Over the middle, has a man, a little bit of a high throw. It didn't matter. They call a timeout there in UConn territory. We always get cooked by the 2-minute offenses. Posse out of the shotgun with Divine in the backfield. All kinds of time for Adrian Posse. Finally fires, just takes the check down, but a miscommunication with Milliner means that it's incomplete. 57 seconds in the first half. Posse out of the shotgun once more. Running out of time. McNulty's there. Pushes him into Logan Stern, who lays a big hit. And that's a huge sack for Logan Stern. And that brings us to a 3rd and 19 for the Blazers. And they're actually just going to hand it off. It's going to be a pretty decent run here for Sally. We will call a timeout now. There's still 45 seconds left. You don't know what could happen. So we'll start from our own 21, 38 seconds and 2 timeouts. As Tobin hit as he throws, it's going to be intercepted. There is no way. We should have just let the clock tick down. Now UAB going to have it in the red zone from the 17. This offensive line is something else. Guys, you aren't going to believe this. It was a 3-man rush. A 3-man rush. And they just let the guy through in the middle. That is insane. Unbelievable. I know the interception goes against Tobin. That is the offensive line's interception. 100%. 1st and 10 from the 17. Posse over the middle. Swatted down by Daniel Hutchison. What a diving play. 3rd and 10 from the 17. Posse throws. Has a man wide open, but Milliner steps out of bounds. So 4th and 3 from the 10, they'll kick a field goal. This one probably deep enough that the CPU should not struggle to hit it. I imagine this will be good. And it is right down the middle. Missed opportunity for UConn, allows more points for UAB before the half. And they, of course, start with the football in the second half. The mistakes just keep piling up for this team. It's going to come back to bite us. I mean, it did against Arkansas. Why wouldn't it against UAB? So we head to the half, 24-17 lead for UConn. It doesn't feel like it, though. It almost feels like we're losing this game. It's really the Robert Butts interception that is the difference here. We'd probably be tied at 17, or we'd even maybe be losing without that pick. 1st and 10 UAB to start the second half. It's a handoff to Shaheem Sally. He gets a yard. 2nd and 9. It's an empty set. So, of course, Posse to throw, finding his target over the middle. But Robert Butts forces it out. From the 19, got to imagine they're throwing it here. Adrian Posse back to pass, great pocket, finds his target over the middle, but Joey Terrell lays the big hit, and it falls incomplete. They'll go 3 and out to start the second half. 1st and 10 from the 49 for the Huskies, practically at midfield as it is. It's a handoff up the middle, a loss of 3. 2nd and 13 from the 47. It's an empty set for Tobin. He wants his man again. It's Shamar Porter. Give him another chance. He overthrows it one more time. 3rd and 13 after the incompletion. From the 47, Tobin looks to throw. Throwing it downfield for Porter. Make a play. He does, but it's forced out. And we'll punt it away as well. Man, oh man, what would the score of this game be if Dorian Tobin could just throw deep down the field? And that's incomplete at the feet of one of the wide receivers. That's Cam Shanks, the target. Divine in the backfield once again. He seems to be the preferred back. He does have elite speed. Corin Daly hits the man as he throws, and it's deflected by George Kiki. 3rd down and 10 from the 20. Adrian Posse, of course, looking to throw. Has time, takes the check down. Did we stop him? We did. It's 4th and inches at the 30, and they do elect to punt it away here. You might be wondering why I keep allowing Tobin to throw those deep balls. And I mean, obviously one of them paid off in a touchdown. I got to imagine that he's going to hit some of them. But now UAB is all over the run game. 2nd and 12 from the 45. Tobin to pass. He wants Angler. And now he's overthrowing Marcus Angler to set up a 3rd and 12. You can't make it up. Tobin just missing over and over again. 3rd and 12 from the 45. He's back to pass one more time. We'll give a deep ball to Dalton. Schmizniak, it's overthrown and intercepted again. It's equivalent to an arm punt, so it doesn't hurt us that badly. But man, he just cannot throw a deep ball. His deep accuracy rating is not that bad, but every time he's overthrowing his target. 1st and 10 UAB after a pickup on the screenplay there. It's going to be a handoff to Sally, and Lovelace is there, no gain. 2nd and 10 from the 32 out of the pistol for Posse, who hands off Sally, makes a move to miss Corin Daly, but Daly ends up being the one who makes the tackle. 3rd and 7. Gotta imagine they're going to the air, and they are all kinds of time, but now it's running out. Corin Daly hits him as he throws, but he throws it away. 4th and 7. They'll punt once more. It's still Dorian Tobin, but I guess we're just not going to throw deep when he's in the game. 1st and 10 from the 32. Read option as Robinson gets a good carry for the first time in a while to get 5. Someone in the comments said that they didn't quite think Tobin's arm was ready. Maybe it's not. Maybe we do need to start Welliver. 3rd and 7 now. They're kind of making us one-dimensional, and that one dimension isn't working super well. Stepping up, and a flag down, as it looks like that's maybe a late hit on Tobin. Roughing the passer is the call. It's an automatic first down for the Huskies. So from midfield after the penalty, it's Max Cadet actually getting the carry. He does have some of the best speed on the team, up to a 91, and he finds a first. From the 38, Tobin back to pass. Just going to take the easy underneath to Jackson Harper. Set up a 2nd and inches. Just need to get Tobin comfortable again. I feel like I've said that a couple times this season. So we'll get this to the halfback, Darrell Robinson, as he jukes a defender and finds his way to the 5 to set up a 1st and goal for UConn. Max Cadet gives Robinson a breather. It's 1st and goal from the 5, and Cadet will get the football. Maybe gained a yard. They're going to say he didn't get anything. 2nd and goal from the 5. Tobin to throw. Goes underneath to Overhauser. He actually holds on, and he's down at the 1. Darrell Robinson back in. 3rd and goal from the 1. It's a handoff to him, and he's not going anywhere. In fact, he loses 2 yards. And on 4th and goal from the 3, we'll have to settle for a field goal. Now, these ones from this close, we see the CPU miss them all the time. Will I do the same? Kick from Costanzo. I did do the same. It's hard to read where that stick is actually pointing. That looked like it was well within the uprights, but it just stays to the left. You have to push it very, very far. Still only a touchdown lead. First miss of the season, by the way, for Costanzo, and of course it comes on one that's basically a chip shot. In any game that isn't college football 25, George Kiki lays the hit on Andre Devine. 1st and 10 from the 39 now as UAB is on the move. Devine gonna get the carry, and he's been much more efficient of a runner. Gets 3 yards here, though. 2nd down and 7 from the 42. Posse out of the pistol. Will hand to Devine again. Has running room here to the outside. Santos makes a really good tackle there. Maybe would have been a touchdown otherwise. From midfield, it's 1st and 10. A touchdown, of course, would tie the game with the PAT. And it's going to be an RPO, and they go with the P option. Kiki there to make the tackle on Iverson Hooks. Posse calling an audible. Minute 50 left here in the 3rd quarter, and it's a handoff. Really good blocking. McNulty gets pushed out of the way. Hutchison does not save the 1st down as he falls forward. Posse out of the pistol again. And it's a fake to Devine this time. Looking for a man. Has all kinds of time. He wants Corey Milliner. And I guess Milliner never turned around. That was a great throw. Posse's tapping his chest like it was his fault. It hit Milliner in the arm. I was about ready to make the touchdown call, but Milliner just never looked, I guess. 2nd and 10 from the 39. Posse will look for a different target this time. This one actually does look for the football and gains the 1st to the 19. 1st and 10 UAB from inside the 20. It's a handoff. Devine, look at this Devine run blocking. It's actually Sally in the backfield. Now that I look at it, I saw the number 35. 2nd and 3 from the 12. As Raheem Lovelace in the backfield, and he will get the sack. Posse goes down, and now it's 3rd and 8 from the 18. Bend but don't break defense potentially here from the UConn Huskies. Posse by himself in the backfield, calling another audible. As time. And down he goes. It's Logan Stern, and then it's picked up, a fumble picked up by the offensive line. Forces a 4th and 19. I imagine we'll see the kicking team here. Almost a huge play. So to basically end the third quarter, we'll see a field goal attempt. That kick is up, and it is right down the middle. Welcome to the fourth quarter, everybody. It's 24-20. This is the same score we had in the Arkansas game, but flipped. And we're going to have a false start to start the fourth quarter. Fantastic. 1st and 15 after the penalty. Robinson, who has not been good in the second half, finds 3. 2nd and 12 from the 20. Tobin back to pass, just going to take the drag route to Marcus Angler. Dalton Schmizniak, instead of blocking, goes for a light jog down the field. Either way, it's a first. Max Cadet checks in. He's the halfback for this play, and he'll get the carry. Finds a really good lane. Max Cadet with about a 15-yard pickup to the enemy 45. Robinson back in after that play. And the ball will go to him. Doesn't get quite as good of a run, but does get 4. 2nd and 6 from the 41. Tobin will hand off Robinson on the RPO, and he'll make it a 3rd and short. 3rd and 2 to be precise, as Tobin will be back to pass as an easy check down to Shamar Porter for the first. Read option and a keeper for Dorian Tobin. He does, of course, have some of the best speed in all of college football. Hits a spin move, breaks a tackle, and finds his way in the 10. We gotta find ways to get him on the ground a little bit more, maybe. Make him a little bit more comfortable in this offense. He is holding on to this starting job by an absolute thread at the moment. 1st and goal from the 8. Max Cadet gonna get the carry, falls forward to the 4. 2nd down and goal. Handoff, Darrell Robinson cuts it back, nowhere to go. 3rd and goal. Here we go. Dorian Tobin will look to pass, maybe look to scramble on a 3rd and goal. He can't get to the end zone. 4th and goal at the 1. I don't know if I trust myself to make this field goal. We're going for it. 4th and goal from the half-yard line. It's going to go to Darrell Robinson, and that guy's just not blocked at all. That is insane. 1st and 10, UAB at the 3. I can't even believe what I just saw. Where is Blake Franks going? Look at number 60, perfectly lined up across from number 2. That's his man. Not anymore. Just steps out of the way. You can't make it up. Absolutely unreal. 1st and 10 from the 3 for UAB. Should have settled for the field goal. Those ones from the hashes have been notoriously difficult for myself and the CPU alike. I liked our chances. If Blake Franks has just blocked his guy, it's probably a touchdown. Handoff to Sally. That is a huge tackle from Corin Daly, by the way. If he does not get a hand on him there, he might be gone. 3rd and 10 from the 3. It is actually a handoff to Sally. He breaks the tackle. Kiki, can you save it? He does. Joey Terrell will exit with an injury, though. He doesn't look very injured. He's up and clapping. 4th down UAB. They'll have to punt it away. Bruised ribs for Joey Terrell. We'll substitute him out for now. 1st and 10 UConn. Another second half where we have struggled offensively. Darrell Robinson will get a first on his first touch of this drive, though. From the 32, 1st and 10. Robinson will get another carry, and it's another decent one for 6. Max Cadet checks in. Seen a lot of him today. 2nd and 4, following his blocks. Can he fight for the first? He does, falling forward with those powerful legs. 2:20 left to play. 1st and 10, Robinson getting the carry again, falling forward for 9. 2 minutes left to play. 3 timeouts for UAB. Obviously, a first down goes a long ways to a victory, pushed forward by Ben Morosky, and we do get the first. And Darrell Robinson is a workhorse this season, as the running game is the only thing working consistently. 1st and goal from the 9. UAB, of course, used that first timeout already, and they'll use the second one here. We want them to have to burn all of those timeouts. I would love to go to the air, but we can't really afford the incompletion. Robinson really nowhere to go. From the 9, it's 3rd and goal. They have no timeout, so we can chew a ton of clock after this play. Robinson will get the carry, and we center it for a field goal attempt. This will make it a 7-point lead. Kick from Costanzo is right down the middle. 27-20, and they'll have a minute and some change to drive the length of the field. We've seen crazier. Did we play that a little bit too conservatively? Time will tell. Man, over the middle, Raheem Lovelace forces that out, though. 2nd and 10, empty set for Adrian Posse. Has time to throw and takes a little check down to Corey Milliner. 3rd down and 3 from the 32. They're back to pass again. Has a man downfield. George Kiki there. He's fighting to try to get out of bounds. Did he? It looks like they're saying that he did. The clock stopped. No, now it starts moving again. And they are spiking the football with 51 seconds remaining. 2nd and 10 from the 38. Posse to pass. And finds his man and he heads out of bounds. 1st and 10 from the 27. Posse to throw. Man wide open over the middle. Hit by Daniel Hutchison. But a huge pickup there. And they're going to spike the ball. It's 1st and goal at the 2. They wasted basically 0 time. That, by the way, in coverage was Joey Terrell. I don't get to see the replay, unfortunately, because they spiked it. But man, Joey Terrell normally so good in coverage, just let his guy basically walk past him. And they had a man wide open over the seam. 39 seconds. Going to need an insane stand from the defense. Gerard Byler doesn't get a hand on it, and it's a touchdown for UAB. I guess I did play it too conservative. That is crazy. Gerard Byler is right there. Doesn't lay a hand out, doesn't dive for it. It doesn't matter. UAB scores, and it's going to be a tie game if they can make the point after try. Byler, oh man, that replay. Can Hepburn be a hero on the PAT maybe? No, not going to happen. Kick is good. 37 seconds and 3 timeouts for the Huskies. Jackson Harper, the deep return man, gets it to the 28, and that's where we'll start. We've got all of our timeouts. Tobin, back to pass. He's going to lob one up for Overhauser. He overthrows it again. You can't make it up. 2nd down and 10. Tobin back to throw again. He's got Schmizniak. He overthrows him again. Dorian Tobin, please. Cole Welliver is in the game. If our receivers are going to keep beating guys deep, we need Cole Welliver in the game. 3rd and 10 from the 28. Welliver back to pass. He has his man. He overthrows him as well. It doesn't matter who's in the game. Terry Overhauser beat his man down the field. It's a touchdown for the win. Nobody can throw deep. And, you know, now there's a chance that I have thrown the game away, but all 3 of those were touchdowns if they're completed passes. I don't regret attempting the throws. I really do not. Posse, back to pass. He's going to take a sack, and we're going to head to overtime. Overtime it is. We start with the football as UAB won the toss. 1st and 10 from the 25. Tobin will hand off. Robinson has a lane here to the outside. Stiff arms a defender, falling forward up to the 6. 33 rushes on the day for Robinson. 1st and goal from the 6. Tobin back to pass. He wants Overhauser. Has him, but he can't punch it in. 2nd and goal from the 1. Darrell Robinson will punch it in for the score. 6 points for the UConn Huskies. We strike first here in overtime. And now we just have to make sure UAB can't match. 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Blazers. Posse with Sally in the backfield will throw, and that's a touchdown immediately. George Kiki gets burned by Corey Milliner. You can't make it up, man. This defense sometimes just doesn't want to be here. I guess it's my mistake for leaving them in press coverage. They do have really, really good receivers. We have pretty good corners with pretty good man coverage ratings and really good speed. I thought he'd be okay. He was not. And we start on defense this time. So here we go. We need a stop from the defense, please. Man is open over the middle, and Lovelace can't make a tackle. It's a 1st and 10 to the 15. They had a man wide open in the middle of the field. 1st and 10. They're going over the middle again. Lovelace this time will make the tackle. 2nd and 2 from the 6. Could go to the ground here, and they will. Sally breaking this to the right, but no gain. 3rd and 2 from the 7. Would be a huge stand from the Huskies defense. Can they make it happen? It's an overthrow, finally. The CFB gods are on my side. I've had 50 overthrows this game. They finally have one as well. And we have seen the CPU miss from this distance time and time again. The kick, though, this time is right down the middle. A touchdown for UConn wins the game. Here we go. A touchdown wins the game. A field goal extends overtime. A turnover loses the game. Screen set up for Robinson. Has blockers, jukes to the inside. He's already inside the 10 to the 8. Max Cadet checks in for a play. First and goal from the 8. And Cadet will get the carry lane up the middle, gets to the 3. Darrell Robinson back in the game. I think you know who this football's going to. On the carry, Darrell Robinson into the end zone. Touchdown, UConn. Game over. Why would we give the football to anybody else when we've got Darrell Robinson in the backfield to carry the hell out of this offense? What a game this was. We should have won by like 50. Shamar Porter and all of the receivers really were beating the defensive backs down the field every single play. Dorian Tobin overthrew them all but one of the times. And even Welliver came in for a play, and he had the most open player in Terry Overhauser deep down the field late in the 4th, and he couldn't do it. Just an insane game. I'm not sure what the issue is there. It sucks that we can't throw deep. Is that a bug in the game? Do I need to change like the QB accuracy slider? I don't want to not be able to throw deep. I like the fact that we have the occasional overthrow, but that frequently is insane. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, but it's a victory either way for UConn, a hard-fought one that maybe we didn't deserve. If we take a look at player stats, Dorian Tobin did go over the yardage that we needed to hit as an average to keep Neil Powell happy. I think that number was 195-ish. We hit 235 today, 18 for 35, 51% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Rushing, it was the Darrell Robinson show. With overtime as well, 35 attempts, 162 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. This guy is a beast. He is the only reason we have 2 wins on the season. He is the offense right now. The passing game has to figure their stuff out. Until then, we're being carried by Robinson. I will say, I was also very impressed with Max Cadet today. 6 yards per carry average. He did only get 7 attempts, but hey, if we want to start lessening Robinson's workload a little bit to hopefully avoid some injury concerns, we can absolutely have Cadet do a few more carries. In the receiving game, it was also Robinson. He had 4 touchdowns on the day, 70 yards through the air. Porter had a touchdown, 5 for 94. Overhauser 3 grabs, only for 8. Harper 3 for 36. Angler 2 for 27. We got to figure a way to get Dalton Schmizniak more involved. It's just that, like I said a couple episodes ago, his routes take a little bit longer to develop, and we really haven't had that time to throw. And also, he's typically further down the field, and currently Dorian Tobin is overthrowing everything. 10 pancake blocks for Franks and Morosky. Morosky allowing a sack, though. Manny Smith, I feel like he was better than Torian Johnson. At least I feel like I noticed him less, which to me is a good sign. Defensively, Raheem Lovelace with 4 solo tackles leads the way. He also had 10 total tackles, which leads the team. He had 5 TFLs. Raheem Lovelace and Johnny McNulty with 5 tackles for loss. Talk about a dynamic duo. Absolutely disgusting. 2 sacks from Logan Stern, a sack and a half from Corin Daly, a sack from Lovelace, and half a sack from McNulty. Corin Daly is playing very well. He was not supposed to be a starter this season. It was supposed to be Alan Swan opposite Calvin Whitaker. I think Corin Daly has earned the starting job just going forward. Even when Alan Swan returns, I think this is Corin Daly's DT position. Man, I know I said it was going to be 2 games this episode, but that one was an absolute sweat fest. I think it deserves to be its own episode. And whenever we have games like this that go into overtime, they probably will be their own episodes. We'll go ahead and advance the week into week number 5, where we play Cincinnati, and we have a couple guys visiting. Raheem Lovelace is the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week with all those TFLs, much deserved. And Darrell Robinson is the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. Wouldn't be shocked if he is the National Offensive Player of the Week, because the dude was disgusting. He didn't get National Offensive Player of the Week. I'm actually shocked. UConn back up to rank number 10. If we win out the rest of the season, we should be a playoff contender. We don't have the most difficult schedule. I know the Big 12 in general is quite good. In fact, Cincinnati looks like they're a really good team this year. But if we take a look at the team schedule, and again, ignore the fact that it says force win home. I had a bug in the Arkansas game, had to reload into week 1 and just forced the win, which you basically already saw. But this is the rest of the schedule. Cincinnati, Houston, Iowa State. I mean, well, shoot, we've got a tough schedule actually. Kansas State in the mix, Auburn at the very end. It's not an easy road for UConn, and we're playing a style of football that has entirely too many mistakes right now in the passing game, and we need to figure something out. This clearly isn't working. The running game is only going to carry us so far. And if Darrell Robinson gets hurt, which he will if he's getting 35 carries per game, then we are screwed offensively. He is the sole reason we have 2 wins. Texas A&M lost to FCS Southeast this week. Old Dominion 41-13 over Indiana. Bit of an upset there. Rice beating Colorado after Colorado beat Ohio State was not on my bingo card. Ohio State loses again, 27-20 against Baylor. Baylor is ranked 6th currently. Really good football team with a really, really good defense. Ohio State 14th at 2-2. And nothing else really to mention. Everything kind of went as planned. Here's a look at the top 25. Currently, Georgia still in 1st. We, after barely sneaking by UAB, are 10th. UAB is 11th. I think we're super evenly matched programs. I know that overall wise, we're better than them. But man, that felt like a team that is on the same level as us, to be honest. Northwestern drops to 12th. They were 5th. I didn't even notice that they were all the way up there. 38-6 loss to number 1 Georgia. That'll do it. Ohio State down to 14th after losing back-to-back to Baylor and Utah. Oklahoma State drops out of the top 10 all the way to 20th after losing to Wake Forest. And Maryland beats Minnesota. Oh, I guess that would be an upset that I didn't see. But Minnesota drops to 22nd. Cincinnati, NC State, and Auburn join the rankings. Teams that just missed: Louisiana, Middle Tennessee State. That's surprising. Iowa, Washington, Maryland, Arkansas, Boise State, and Missouri. So in the Big 12, the leaders currently are Liberty. Liberty, by the way, having a crazy bounce back season. I think they won 2 games all of last year, maybe 3. So being 4-0 to start is huge for them, already 2-0 in the conference. Baylor is 4-0. Wow, if their overalls are true, they are really, really good. Cincinnati, also very good, undefeated. Kansas State, undefeated. We play West Virginia and K-State a little bit later this season. And that's the rest of the undefeateds in the conference. A lot of teams with 1 loss. And then the bottom of the Big 12, BYU, TCU, Houston, and Kansas. Out of nowhere, Notre Dame takes a huge jump on Joshua McCargo. I don't know how they got so much influence in 1 week. He is visiting us this week versus Cincinnati. That's going to be a huge game. If we win that, we probably get Joshua McCargo to commit. And we're probably about a game away from Pelshak committing as well. But anyway, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and for the continued support. I really do appreciate it. If you find yourself coming back on the regular and you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. It does help me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next episode where we face off against 3-0 Cincinnati and look to get 2 huge commitments in the UConn Huskies dynasty.